Hey, yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What they do? Welcome to another episode of the Salute Podcast. I am your boy, retired Chief Master Sergeant Pat Wilcox, a.k.a. the Hip Hop Chief, a.k.a. Conscious Rhyme of the group Purgatory. The Salute Podcast is always in the service of dreamers, and we showcase the talents of all current and prior military members in the elements of hip-hop. So if you can rap, also dress fresh, and you served your country, then guess what? The salute is for you. So, before we get into this show today, which is definitely gonna be a good show,
yes, sir.
Very, very good show. You see my man on the side over here. This is gonna be a straight show. But before we get into it, I gotta shout out the sponsors. You know, knock them out and say what's up to them, and hope I can get through it without jamming it up. So, without further ado, I know. So, one time for plugs, earbuds at www.gettheplugs.com, Audio Swim at www.audioswim.com, and Permit Element UAE at www.permitelement.com. One time for my man Shorty Pimp to Bronx, aka my Miami boy, 305 Dade County all day. You already know. So
Yes,
the
sir.
next one, Patreon, just for $3. You can get this podcast and all the DFPN podcasts advertisement free. I know you like that because I know you don't want to hear Black interrupting in between and all that. So yeah, you can get that without Black. Right? Get it without Black. Because somewhere in this podcast, I'm at the pause for the calls just for Black. Last time he missed it. I did this long pause. He didn't even plug it in. So yes, I'm gonna pause for you at some point in this show, Black. I will. Okay, it's gonna happen. So Patreon at www.patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. So go check us out over there. And last but not least, I had to get on these cats a couple times, but now I'm good. Because guess what? I got the merch. I got it. There it is. I got my cup. There it is right there. So support your boy with the merch. Go out and get it at teespring.com and search for That Feeling Podcast. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got mine every morning. I make sure it happens. It's merch time. So, you know it. So, I'm gonna get into this. Let's get into this thing. Okay, so I always got to start with a story. So I'm gonna go ahead on. I'm gonna give y'all a story again. This time. Right. So this month been like a crazy month for me, for everybody. So you got Derek Chauvin, Mr. Knee Man, on trial. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know what the outcome of that's gonna be this week. And usually I don't get into all the political stuff. I touch on it here and there, but this is a little different. This has been a little different month this month. So you got Derek Chauvin. He's on trial and he's supposed to find out something Monday. So this somber weekend. We just had a member of our United States military get pepper sprayed by police officers. That's why I'm wearing this hat. Also to salute my man Mac, because Mac is still an active duty member. So I wore this hat today in salute of the lieutenant that got pepper sprayed. We vets. We two vets on here. We two military dudes. We don't condone that. We don't condone that at all. So I wanted to show some love here with this, with letting you know where I stand at with it. Also this week, a young man got shot in the chest because the officer made a mistake and thought that she had a taser in her hand, but she had a 9mm. I got a 9mm, and I had a taser too. They definitely don't feel the same. But we probably talk about that a little bit during this show because I just think it's time. So, in the top all that off, about last week, we lost DMX. So at 50, what I mean? We lost my man DMX. Now, will I say I was a big DMX fan? No, I was not, because I thought I was a Pac fan. Big Pac fan. I thought he came along during that time when it was Ja Rule and him and all the bald head rappers came along, and I just really wasn't, I thought it was just, Master P was in that same boat. I wasn't a big fan of any of them. Right. And that's the reason why. But I will say my man DMX did his thing. He showed out. And he was dope. I had to dig into my DMX. I was like, man, this dude here, over the years, that cat was a beast. He was a tormented soul, man. But he's in a better place now. And I'm glad that, you know, I'm sad to see him go, but for being personal, being selfish. But to me, you know what I mean, you know, he's in a better place, man. The man suffered a whole lot. So with all that stuff going on this week, I said we need to lighten it up a little bit. You know, we decompress this weekend. Do some, you know what I'm saying, have a little light heart. So by, you know, last month or so, I think I was on this man's show, Smoke Pit. I already had Black on. Now I got this man on, and we had a good time. We laughed, man. My whole spirit changed when you know what I'm saying, I had such a good time, man. This man is a comedian. I was like, we just need to get some funniness. So you want to say how does comedy, what got to do with hip hop? Did you see In Living Color? Did you see Martin? Well, I watched Martin. You know what I'm saying? Did you did you watch do you know what's another good one? In Living Color, Martin. I had
comedy.
It in my mind. Huh?
Def Comedy Jam.
That's the one I was trying to.
Def Comedy Jam was
the old man memory. I was talking about it before. My man Donnie, old man memory. So I was up there. Def Comedy Jam. So it's all intertwined. Yeah. It's always intertwined. And so you don't need to ask. You know, it ain't considered one of the elements, but it is considered one of the elements. Because you wouldn't have a Friday if it wasn't for these comedians out here making things happen. So, like I said, I had a good time with this man on the show. I just thought, man, that this is a good atmosphere to bring somebody on like that. So, and just chop up with him. He's a part of the DFPN network. You know, everybody, all the boys. He's one of the boys. Also a hip hop head. Also a sneakerhead. So you know we about to touch on some of these things already. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all prepared for him as well for these sneakerhead stuff. Okay. All right. So without further ado,
let's do it.
Without further ado, you know what I'm saying? My man Mac, what it do? Welcome to the salute.
What's good, Chief? Thanks for bringing me in. Thanks for inviting me on here. You know, I was not expecting to be on the show because, you know, you're bringing a lot of hip hop dudes on here. And I tried to rap back in my day. You know, I try to write shit down, but I mean, it's not for everybody. You know, like people look at people rapping and think it's easy to do. Anybody can do it. And you may look at like current hip hop nowadays, how people just get a beat and they just repeat the same thing over and over like 21. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And they make it successful. But when I was talking about a rapper, like I'm talking about, I want to go down like a Kendrick or, you know, a J. Cole or like somebody where you'd be like, yo, he gonna have something behind his words instead of just making something that's catchy. So that's harder than it seems. That's harder than it seems. I don't know how many people out there watching this be like, I rap, you know, I could put words together, but to do it in a sense where, you know, people look at you like, yo, you up here with the greats, you up here in the conversation with GOAT type stuff. That should be your motivation for anything you do. When it's all said and done, you want to be up there as like one of the greats when it's done. So, I mean, you reached out to me, you're like, yo, let's chop it up, current event stuff, kind of keep it light, you know, just try to do something to, you know, change people's mindsets of the situation. So more than willing to do that. Like you said, you was on the Smoke Pit. We hit on some real shit like, you know, discrimination in the military and stuff like that. So we can talk about real shit and then keep it light at the same time. Because at the end of the day, that's how you find balance in life. So I appreciate you bringing me on here, Chief. And first of all, I appreciate your service. I appreciate your service and everything you did as well. So salute back to you.
You already know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I know you listen to some of my back catalog because I was on your show. You was like, what? You got catalog? You was like, you made a post like, oh, you rappity rap. You rap. I said, yeah, man.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Rapper.
Hey, I be rapping. I rap. You know what I'm saying? I get my rap on.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, don't let the Miami, the MI fool you now. A lot of people, hey, I was in Korea battling cats with yellow shorts on, yellow hat, bright yellow shorts, blue and bright yellow shoes. They were laughing. So I walked up there and I said, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So shout out to the Sunday Social in Korea, 2001. They were laughing. So I said that first line. They were like, oh, okay, all right. We'll let him go with his neon yellow. And you know what I'm saying? Neon yellow pants on. We'll let him go. But yeah, but anyway, but yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I got a story, but I gotta tell you, we're probably doing this stuff. But when I got punched in the chest in Alabama, when I touched this girl's butt, and my boy spread like the Red Sea, because I was standing in the back. I said, yeah, I'm gonna touch her butt. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna say nothing. Man, that girl punched me in my chest. She was like, my boy was like, yeah, with that pink polo shirt you had on. I was like, yeah, it probably was. You know what I'm saying? It probably was, you know what I'm saying? I stopped wearing polo with much.
Out here wilding, bro.
I poloed up. My Miami boys know what I'm talking about. I'll polo down. That punch chest, you know what I'm saying? That changed some things about the way I put my polo on. So I'm just gonna say,
yeah.
That girl reached out, bang. I was like, oh, my boy spread like this. Hey, boo. They just look like they know it wasn't us. Because you had the pink pants on and the pink, the plaid, the multicolored polo shirt on. I said, yeah, it probably was me. Yeah. I probably reached through there to the point and touched it. It was me. But anyway, man. So Mac, man, go ahead and tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, like I always do on the show. You know, you serving right now. You can say where have you served at, where you been stationed at, but you can do that too. But I know you stationed somewhere right now. If you can say that, because some stuff I know y'all cats over there they having sometimes top secret clearance. You know what I'm saying? I worked at the Pentagon. I didn't have no top secret clearance.
Nah. Yeah, man. So I'm a military brat. My dad was in the Marines. He did, I want to say over 30 in the Marines. Prior E, then he went over to the commission side, retired as a major. Okay. So we bounced around a lot. I've been to 4 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools. So it was a lot of moving around. So I think we'll get into that too. But that's kind of how my comedic kind of personality came about, because you go into a new school, new place, got to fit in with new people. You know, you need to have your thing to stand out. So, you know, oh, this new kid funny. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my thing. Why did I serve? I'm gonna just keep it a buck, man. Me and my wife, who, you know, we were just dating at the time. You know, I was out here in San Diego, cutting up out in them streets and shit, you know, hanging with the wrong folks and all that stuff.
You wasn't crip walking.
She ended up getting pregnant.
Huh?
I roll with some people, bro. I roll with some people. That's all I'm saying. Hey, when you get to San Diego and you brand new, bro,
you wasn't doing the Bompton thing, was you?
Bro, you gotta find some people to roll with. Like I wasn't full up, like I ain't get jumped in, but you cool with enough people where, you know, they'll fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, yeah, this dude cool. He like honorary, but he ain't in. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit they had to do to get in, I was not doing that. I'm not built for that shit. I'll just let y'all know off the rip. Like, to be in a game? Nah, son. Nah, I just want to be affiliated with y'all motherfuckers. I don't want to be blood in, blood out type shit. But yeah, so she got pregnant with my oldest. And I was out here. I was just like, I probably need to do something better to put my family in a better situation, so we ain't starting out, you know, out here and bad influences out here. Because some of them cats was just like, damn, you know, she pregnant, so like y'all getting an abortion, or like, what's the move? Like everybody was just expecting me to not man up and take care of my kid or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So that kind of opened my eyes that maybe I need a better circle around me. So went to the recruiting spot. Talked to the recruiters. The Marine Corps was like, our shit's 13 weeks. Army and Navy was like, our shit's 9 weeks. Air Force was like, hey, holla at me, we 6 weeks. I was just like, there we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. And that's how I got in. And, you know, so I'd go through basic. First duty station was Eglin Air Force Base over there in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, over by the Panhandle. Was there for
I was in Panama. I was in Panama City. Yeah, I was in Panama City. I was at Tyndall, so I know it. My man Shorty Pimp, UAE, he was stationed up there. He was up at the Bronx. He was. I don't know if you know the Bronx. He was stationed up there.
Nah. Oh okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's a lot of people have been through Eglin. You know what I'm saying? Eglin, Hurlburt, Panama City. There's like 3 bases like right along 98 right there in that area. So a lot of people get through there. So after that, I went over to Korea at the AOC up there at Osan. I was there for a year. After that, came back, went to Mountain Home, Idaho, and bro. There's few places. He said, So Nick, I don't need to get involved. You know what I'm saying? You already know, Chief. You already know. You sit there like, So you already know.
I know.
So I got out of, in order to get out of Mountain Home, Idaho, I had to volunteer for Korea again. So I went back to Korea. I was bringing my family over this time, so I was there for 2 years. Came back from Korea back to Florida, but I went to Tyndall this time. So I was at Tyndall for 4 years, and now I'm here in Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. So that's kind of where I bounced around at in my career. I got some deployments under my belt too, but.
All right. Yeah, man. Oh, that's kind of my story. Oh, before we get into I'm gonna start about my story, but we just said that just saw somebody right up here. We lost Black Rob today too, man. I mean, that's why I want to do what I'm doing. It's like, you know, they always come in 2 and 3s. Somebody just said we lost Black Rob today. I didn't even know that. You know, but
I saw a post where he was sick. I saw a post where he was sick. Like he looked super sick, but I didn't think it was, you know. I mean, nowadays it's sad to say like you shouldn't be surprised because I mean the way things have been going lately, it's just like you just wake up expecting one piece of bad news nowadays, and it's messed up, you know.
Yeah, man, we're hip hoppers, man. They got to get a union or something to get together, man, and take care of these cats. Puffy had all this money, man. There should be no way that Black Rob should have been like that, you know, almost damn homeless from what I saw, man. I just don't understand how we don't look out for each other, man. All these cats, $1 billion ride around in Rolls Royces. They can't spare a couple dollars to make sure the man's straight.
Right.
You
know? I know you got questions for me. I just want to ask you this real quick. You know, Puffy be real loud, like when it comes to the Grammys, how about we need to unionize and come together as Black artists and all this other stuff. You be going to these $1 billion lunches with Jay-Z and all these people like billionaire entrepreneurs and stuff. But then like we continuously see artists that he had on his label be out there down on their luck. And he ain't selling them the masters back. He ain't doing none of that stuff. Like what is your opinion on that? How do you look at Puffy for doing shit like that?
You know, I'm just being honest, man. You know, I don't know if I shoot myself in the foot and might never get to meet Puffy. You just never know, man. I don't have a problem, you know, with Puffy, and you know, I just think he's a exec. He's a regular executive person. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of them like that. You know what I'm saying? What Tribe Called Quest said? You know what I'm saying? Well, what's the rule? 380 record company people are shady. Yeah, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And so it don't surprise me. They all shady, man. I have never heard a good story about a record exec ever doing anything good for anybody except themselves. You know what I'm saying? And keeping the artists locked up and messed up. That's why they losing it now, because you know these young artists, they getting out here and they get this independent grind on. They doing their own thing and they don't really need them no more, which is the best thing that ever happened, because they won't have to be in the same story that Black Rob was, because they own their own masters. They own their own things. And that's kind of how I look at my stuff, man. I'm like, yo, I keep my stuff. I'm good. I don't have to be signed to anybody. I mix. I was mixing today. I mix people's stuff. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I don't have to answer to no labels and nothing like that. I make music when I want to make music. And it make me feel good. And I don't have to worry about that. So, you know, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not, you know, I was tripping on Puffy when you made them run down the street and get the cheesecake. I was like, I don't need to be in hip hop that bad. I go, what does cheesecake have to do with damn hip hop? What?
Nothing. Nothing. I remember watching that show too, because all I did was watch it to laugh at the people on there. Like I get it. Your dream is to make it into rap. So you like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to reach my goal. But there comes a point, like, do you not have any kind of dignity, like self-respect, something like that? Like, everybody see you walking 5 miles to get my man cheesecake, and then you want to come in there and try and battle rap somebody. My guy, I saw you walk 5 miles for cheesecake, not for you. You ain't even got no cheesecake, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, for another dude who could have drove down there and got it. could have had it delivered, whatever. He rich. He was like, nah, y'all go walk down there. All 7 of y'all go get me a piece of cheesecake. And all went. It ain't take but one person, like, I mean, it's
OP Dizzle.
I don't know. Like, we built different. We built different, man. We built different. That's all it is, man.
I'm totally built
like, I just would have walked off that.
Yeah, me too. I've been out there.
Clean off that show.
Cheesecake.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? One time for my bad Black Rob, you know what I'm saying? Whoa. You know what I'm saying? I was just listening to it the other day. I went and listened to it. I said, man, I forgot how nice this song was. Yeah, I ain't got no drink with me. I just got my little, you know what I'm saying? My damn, what's that damn ginger ale I like? My ginger beer. But hey, pour out a little something for my man out there if you can. But I'm gonna go back around to what you were saying, man, when you were talking about, when you came in the military. What I did the same thing, man. My daughter was being born, and I was working at Wendy's. I was not Wendy's. I was at Walmart. I was a shoe department manager. They were trying to get me to be a store manager and all this other good stuff when I was working there. And I was like, man, I got to get out here and do something with myself. I can, you know what I'm saying? I was making pretty decent money. I was like, man, my daughter finna be born. I got to do something. And so that made me kind of, and plus I had, that atmosphere too. I had that same kind of atmosphere stuff going around, and me and my partners, we just going every day. I tell you, I be having a mouthful of gold teeth. I was, I was wanting to be thugging and, you know what I'm saying? All kind of crap like that. So it probably the best thing for me to go in the military. It's just funny how more people's stories kind of intertwine, so how it kind of is the same thing. People go in the military for, some similar reasons, to get away from home, to get away from situation or family, you know what I'm saying? Something, gets us in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. It's not a bad thing either, man. I mean, if you join in for the right reason, get your family squared away, put yourself in a better position, get yourself out of a bad position. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Do what you got to do. Set yourself up for success, bro.
Nah, man. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I every day I look, I'm like so happy I did that. I would not have nothing I have had I had not went to the military, and what I'm saying, and knew enough to say I'm in the military. This military gonna work for me. If you making me run, you're gonna work for me.
Yeah.
You making me put a gas mask on. You know what I'm saying? You making me sit out here and be hot. You're gonna work for me. I'm gonna get me an education. I'm gonna do some stuff. You're gonna give me something. So yes, I did. I gave them something.
Yeah.
I gave them my knees and my back and all that stuff, and they gave me my education. Sure did. You know what I'm saying? Sure did.
Yep.
But anyway, the next question
They're gonna take from you, bro. They're gonna take from you.
They sure gonna take from me. You know what I'm saying? So you might well, hey, get that education, get what you can get. Hey, I sure did. I used it all the way to the fullest, all of my GI Bill. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Facts, bro. Facts.
Anyway, my next question is, how did the military influence some of your comedy, man? If it influenced your comedy.
It did. It gave me a different aspect on it because like I said, growing up, switching schools all the time, being the funny dude was like my way in. Like that's how I made new friends and shit. Joining the military was kind of like that as well. Cause like everybody be going through similar shit. You know what I'm saying? Like starting in basic, motherfuckers be homesick. Motherfuckers be sad. You got the hard motherfuckers that be like, I ain't listening to nobody. Like why you join the military? You try not, so everybody having a bad time, just being able to try to like raise morale, raise people's spirits and stuff like that. It's kind of how it works. And then it's one of those things where like you in the military, people on the outside looking in who aren't in the military, I don't know what they assume. If they assume we working like a well-oiled machine, like ain't nothing wrong with serving. Everybody who's in knows the same shit. It's no different than like a business where you got, meetings that could easily be emails, but you sitting in a goddamn conference room looking at slides for hours when you could be doing some other shit. If you had just sent me this email, you got, some bosses that be on some off the wall shit and you just be looking at them. You and your coworkers be looking like, is this motherfucker serious? And you can't say shit because, they're a couple of ranks above you. So, fuck it. I guess we gonna do it, but you gonna complain. Like you'll do the shit, but you gonna complain and laugh about how dumb it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think because a lot of veterans will be like, we got a different sense of humor because of the shit that we've seen and the shit that we've done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Most people say it's like a kind of a darker sense of humor or whatever, but it really influenced me because we were on this deployment in 2003. We had a whole convoy and all this stuff. We were not prepared for what we was about to do. And it showed because on our drive from Kuwait to Baghdad, one of the convoys came under attack. We lost an individual and all that other stuff. So like the morale for the unit for this deployment was low. It started off pretty low. And so throughout the first few months or whatnot, I was just looking, trying to figure something out. Like, cause I was going through it myself. And, I was just making observations about people's characteristics, the things they be doing. And I started writing an email, like drafting up these thoughts and these observations in a funny way via email. And then I would send it to my friends, just like boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. I think I called it the Camp Griffin Chronicles or something like that. And cats was hitting me back up like, yo, that shit was hilarious, dog. Like, I let somebody read this and they want to be added to the list, kind of like the subscription list or whatnot. Cause I had a tight circle that I would send it to. They're like, yo, just add an old boy on this shit, So I just added it. And like the list just kept growing throughout the deployment. People just like, yo, you should write a book or, something with this comedy, the way you are explaining stuff. It's real life, but you're explaining it funny. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't wait till the next one comes out. So that's how, to know that little bit of effort, that what I was doing was like getting people through their day, making people happy, having them anticipating the next one, instead of waking up like, oh, I can't wait to get the fuck up out of here. Like, here's another shitty day. They're just like, bro, I can't wait till next Friday when your next shit comes out. So that inspired it a lot. So it's pretty much, I just use my sense of humor every time fucked up shit start happening. Like I have to find the humor in it, because if I don't, I'm gonna just get pissed for no reason. And nobody wants, the angry black man in the squadron, so I just find the funny things in it. So, yeah. So every day I see something, I write it down, I put it in my log of stuff, to try to make material about. And so, I mean, it's just giving me at least 20 years of material to use. That's all I'm saying. That the military hooked it up. On top of being a parent, being in the military, like, gives you material for comedy all the time. That's all I got to say. Like it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, man, it's helped me too, man. I like to laugh. But to bring it back around, I meant to say that you're a 1 Charlie 5. You about the third or fourth 1 Charlie 5 we've had on the show. So I got to say that, and I want to say also to you, we were talking that I was at Herbert Field. I just came from Herbert Field. I was civilian over there at the fire department. I just came from Herbert Field to where I'm at, Virginia. So yes, we all go back. I hated the panhandle every minute of it, but I can't stay away from the damn panhandle. I don't even know why. The first time I ever saw a Confederate flag bathing suit was in the panhandle. And I got down there and I was like, I got to get the hell out of here today. I threatened some folks to get the hell out of there.
It's lower Alabama out there.
Woo.
It's lower Alabama, because you'll mess around and be like, oh, I'm in Florida. When you tell people you stationed in Florida, they thinking you in Orlando, Miami, Tampa. Like, nah, the panhandle is lower Alabama, man. Wow. It is wild. I'm just like, bro, y'all on some other shit down here. I
had never even heard of Panama. I never heard of Panama City. Never heard of it until I joined the military. I was just like doing a 3-way swap because my daughter was being born to get back to Florida. That's what I was doing in tech school. And then I was like, they were like, Panama City. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know where that's at, but so I go there. I got there and I was like, oh Lord. Right. I felt like I had stepped back in the time, and I was, what I'm saying, I all I need was a chain on my leg, what I'm saying, and a whip, and I was just right there. I felt like I wanted to go to drink out a different water fountain and everything. I was like, what the hell? I remember I went down to put a EEO complaint. My boy did. My boy 1 Charlie 5. My boy Op Solo. He went down to put a EEO complaint in for me to help me out. And he was like, man, I went down there, man. They already said they had like 10 EEO complaints already on that fire department. I was like, yeah. I
gotta go. I got to go. And then if y'all didn't hear the episode when Chief was on the smoke pit, the way he got out of that fire department, classic ass shit, bro. Like,
yeah, buddy. You know,
my man went up in there and was just like, "Look, you giving me orders? I'm gonna light all this bitch. I'm gonna light this whole shit up." And my man was just like, "All right, I hear you."
That don't happen no more, but I want to feel that dude was like that.
Nope.
He was training that other dude. He's like, yeah, you know, we're gonna get you, you know what I'm saying? Just leave him alone. They sent me to counseling. I got orders out of there so fast, I was gone, man. Gone.
He was like, yeah, y'all gotta go. He gotta get out of here. But it's a different part of Florida there.
Happy to get the hell up out of there, man. So yeah, it was a funny story. I tell that story, everybody just started laughing. Hell no, I wasn't funny when it was going on. I was mad as hell. I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that panhandle is a trip, man. That panhandle, yeah, it's something special. So hey, you know, I've been there enough. My boy's still stuck there. I'm solo. I feel for you, bro. He's still stuck there. He can't never get away from Panama City. I'm like, hey, had that, but I'm good. So my next question for you.
Oh, that's his home? That's where he's.
No, he's from Chicago, but you know what I'm saying? Just imagine that. You from a Chicago boy, you but his kids down there, so he's like, yo, I'm gonna stay down there. But hey, only time I go down there to visit him.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That is not my cup of tea. It could be 30 jobs past today. I will never apply for it. You gotta worry about it.
Yeah.
But my next question for you, man. So you know, let me see. Do you ever think about leaving the military to pursue comedy?
No, because by the time I decided it's something I want to pursue, I was already out here. So I was already at like 18 years in. So I'm just like, I'll just ride these last, few years out, get my retirement. But I'll just say this, had I had the tools and the opportunities and stuff that younger comedians are getting now with social media and all these things to get that exposure, I probably would have thought about it harder like in my earlier days or something like that, depending on the following and stuff like that. But no, I never thought about it, but it is definitely a post when I get out the military, I can devote more time towards it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how you are with your music. I mean, now that you don't have the military burden to have to put on, all the time you have now to dedicate and put towards your passion and your craft, that's what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm saying? To be like, cool, now I can just, focus on this kind of full time, but obviously I'm gonna still have to work and do some other stuff until it picks up, so that's the goal. So that's what I'm shooting for right now.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I got all the time in the world now, man. That's what I do. I be here working on my music. I still got my job. I work with her, but every weekend or sometime during the week, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, working on stuff. I got a manager now. She be in my behind. Shout out to Nicole Key. Driving me crazy. She called me today. But hey, it's a good driver. I love her. She a beast, man. I told her, I said, you need to get you some more military dudes, because most of these managers that they used to dealing with dudes, they got to kind of push them along and whatever. She asked me a question that's already done. I already had my publishing. I already had this. I already had that. She's just like, man, she was showing me some analytics today. She's like, man, you have a fan base for your music between 18 and 22. I'm like, 18 and 22? What? I was like, I got 18 and 22 year-old fans? Oh, hell yeah. So, hey, she worked that. She worked every bit of it, man. I mean, she good people, man. She showing me some stuff that I ain't even think about. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm geared up to put this new album out, man. I'm on fire. I'm on fire right now, but that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about me. We talk about you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
man. And congrats on the manager, man. Congrats on the manager. I saw that. I said congrats on getting the manager, man. Yeah, I saw Nicole was working with Marquise and stuff, and shout out to them for their new podcast that's about to drop for the public. My Art, My Rules. Oh, yeah. That's just about to be lit. But now that she teamed up with you, like you said, man, now you taking them steps to fully realize your passion and your goal, man. So shout out to you for that, man.
Yeah, she heard the single, you know what I'm saying? My single, I'm gonna drop the Pray. You know what I'm saying? She was like, oh, she said she had a little young cat in there with her. He was like, can I get it right now? It's like, no, be patient. You know what I'm saying? I got some heat back. I'm gonna got some heat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean? But it's always that thing about staying in the military, getting out, whatever, man. But you know what I mean? You got, everybody not Mark Socks. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I wish I was Mark Socks back in the days, but hey, that cat, he's like, I'm out. I ain't even mad at him. You know what I'm saying? MRK Sock, I'm not salute you. Salute to you, my brother,
take a different, you got to be a different breed, bro. Be like, I'm a bet on myself. Like, if I was single, I probably would have. You know what I'm saying? But I was just looking at it like I just want my family to be stable and set up. So I did my part. Like I said, when I hit that retirement button and I get out, I'll be like you, just had time to dedicate towards a passion. So that's what we working towards, Chief. That's what we working for.
Yeah. It was the same for me, man. I was thinking the same. I got family, I got kids. I had, at the time, I was the only cat that was in there that had kids at the time. I was one of the oldest dudes, and I already had a child. So I was already thinking, like, I got to make sure my kids secure. And so that had a lot to do with what I was trying to do at the time. You know what I mean? So, we all do for our own reasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
So let's see what's the next question here. So what or who was your biggest inspiration to do comedy?
Like I said, the comedy thing was kind of like a self-defense or self-coping mechanism. It's how I handle with shit, right? I wasn't always the biggest dude or whatnot, so you always got them cats, growing up through school. You just had to have a thing, right? So like when somebody would be trying some shit, I would just flip it. Put the focus back on them as a joke, right? I ain't gonna lie, it got my ass beat a couple times in elementary school. You fuck around and clown the wrong kid who don't know how to clown back. Like the motherfucker when they get roasted a lot and all they can do is just fight. All of a sudden you be like, come on, man, like why y'all? you wanted to clown back and forth. Now you lose it. Now you want to throw hands and shit. Let's just keep it. Let's just keep it at jokes. But I don't think it was an inspiration when I was younger. It was just something natural, it's just how I handle with shit. As I got older, though, I remember because my uncle was staying with us, my mom's younger brother. He was like 18. He was the dude I was looking up to, be like, oh, he's so cool, So my parents would go to church, on their Wednesday nights or whatever, and she would leave us back, me and my older brother, with my uncle, and he'd be like, yo, I got this movie I want to watch, but you can't tell your mom. I'm letting y'all watch it with me. And we just like, ooh, shit, this about to be good, I was like super young at the time, I forget. But it was Eddie Murphy's Raw, right? So like at the age I was at, some of the jokes I wasn't understanding, but I couldn't take my eyes off of how he was just commanding the room, commanding the stage and shit, right? Like it was like he had the audience in the palm of his hand. Like he would say something, bow, laughing, my uncle dying. Some of the jokes I got, the whole, I got some ice cream. That I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna use that. You want to lick? Psych, Let's
my favorite one, the McDonald's. I got McDonald's.
Right? And I was just like, we do be doing that. Like me as a kid, I do be doing that. I do be like throwing it in people's face. I got Happy Meal. You should have went with us. But I saw that, and then I would say probably not until when did Kings of Comedy come out? I think 2000.
I think around the time.
So like me and my girl, my wife, we were dating at the time. We just had an argument or whatnot. So she acting like she didn't want to go nowhere. And I was like, bet, I'm going to just go to the movie and check this Kings of Comedy thing out. I sat in that theater by myself. Like, the theater was packed. But everybody who was watching that movie at the time, we felt like a big ass family just watching that shit. Because the jokes they were doing, I could relate to because I was older. A lot of them were like, you know, very relatable to how I came up and grew up and all this others. I was just like, yo, I want to do that with my life, right? I want to do that with my life. So I think it was about when I turned 20, where I was just like, okay, let me start watching some more stand-ups, kind of seeing how they do it, how they're doing their jokes. Because every comedian is different. Everybody have different ways to deliver their jokes. So I'm just trying to study, just like an MC would just study the greats, just kind of see how they do what they do. You know, anybody who's trying to be better at their craft, you always look at somebody who is where you want to be at, and then study what they're doing. So I mean, Sinbad, how he does the clean comedy. Bernie Mac, how he just did the quick, short, you know, he'll tell some stories. D.L. Hughley and his short little, you know, roast the crowd type joints. It was a whole thing said, and how he would, you know, he was so smooth with his delivery. Like, I'm just sitting there watching. I'm watching that. I go back and watch the Richard Pryor joints. You know, I go back and watch Red Fox. You know, people I didn't even know were comedians. I was just like, oh, that's the guy from Sanford and Son. And then I go back, my man got fire stand-ups, my dude. Fire stand-ups. And I'm just like,
I know.
Bro. So going back and seeing how, and this is the part that got me, seeing how they were able to talk about life in America as a black man, which was tough, but to flip it to where we as black people can laugh and get some entertainment out of it, so it's not just all doom and gloom. It was such brilliance how they did that shit. And Dave Chappelle is currently doing it now, talking about how fucked up this world is, but he can make it to where everybody is like, oh man, like we are fucked up, you know, but you having a good time listening to him tell us how fucked up we are, you know? Yeah. And it brings awareness to a lot of things. And it is just the way they can just flip things and make things relatable and funny, but real at the same time. That's where I'm trying to get to. So I guess the biggest inspiration to start, I guess you could say the first comedian I saw was Eddie Murphy. But then Kings of Comedy, those four goats of comedy probably was the one that you know stoked that flame and was like, get after it. So I'd say DL, Steve, Said, and Bernie, rest in peace, man. Those were my guys to get me started.
Yeah, man. All I could think about when I saw Raw for the first time, I was like, man, I know when that cat take them damn tight ass leather pants off, his underwear, he could probably drench them suckers out. His drawers, he could probably twist all the sweat. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was thinking when I saw. I was like, man, Eddie, I know that your balls are screaming. They hollering right now. You know what I'm saying? Somebody.
Bro, he was wild for that. He was wild. He was like, I need something loud. I need something people going to remember me for this. They was like, his stylist was like, say Lamore, fam, bow. You know, leather pants,
red
jacket,
red leather.
Hot lights. You know what I'm saying? Hot lights, stage lights, no AC. Get up there. Jokes for an hour. Like, bro, shout out to Eddie Murphy, man. I couldn't do it. my stylist come out and lay that shit out on the bed. Bow. You finna kill him with this one. Like, you finna kill me with this, my guy. I ain't wearing this shit out there. I'm having a heat stroke. I'm finna have a heat stroke out this bitch.
I know his nuts is some screaming, boy. Like, oh my God, what is wrong? You know, they probably been talking to each other and they're like, can you breathe? No, I can't breathe. Can you breathe? No, not really.
This motherfucker. This motherfucker.
No, I can't breathe.
Really?
You think he gonna let us out soon?
Got us in this bitch like this.
It was screaming. Nah, like, that's all I thought about when I was a kid. When I was like, man, how is he up in them hot ass lights with them tight pants on?
Yeah.
Anyway, so my next question is, what comedian do you think in our generation had an influence on hip hop?
Off the top of my head, I think the easy answer for me is probably Dave Chappelle. one based on when he had his show on Comedy Central. He would always have a musical guest on it, and it'd always be a hip hop dude. I remember he put so many people on the Dead Prez because he was using their song as his intro, and people was just like, "Oh, what song is that? Dead Prez?" And, Dead Prez, kind of got big again for a little bit. My man had Common on there. He had Kanye on there. He had Black Star on there, Talib, and Mos Def. I was like, my man is coming with the hip hop, the boom bap. And then he had that movie, like he canceled his show and came back with like a movie, Dave Chappelle's Block Party or something like that, where he had the Fugees come out. He had it was, bro. He was putting people onto people who probably wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? Because he had that whole following as a comedian. He's just like, yo, this is the music I like. This is the shit I fucks with. So I think he has done a lot for hip hop. And then now you got, I remember in the early 2000s too, like hip hop videos would have like some comedians in them. You know what I'm saying? To play like the funny dude in a video and shit like that. And like it's I think the relation is because, the upcoming, like it's black comedians coming up. We as kids, we fucked with hip hop. And then now we see in hip hop stars, they want to fucking laugh and shit too. So it's starting to become synonymous. I mean, they're just, hey, you big, you doing comedy, we doing this. Let's come together. I like your music. I like your comedy. Let's hook up and get in the video and stuff. But I think as far as pushing hip hop into the mainstream for comedy, I think Dave Chappelle probably did it the best. And I'm just putting that out there because that Block Party movie, I went and saw that in theaters too. I was just like, I just want this whole soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have been at this concert, so that's how I'm feeling about it.
Yeah. Somebody put Block Party back down at the bottom down here. They were like, the Block Party, what was it? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Block Party
I would say this, now they didn't come from my generation, but being from Miami and listening to, shout out to the 2 Live crew, I got to talk about 2 Live. So I think that, they use a lot of Richard Pryor, Dolomite. I mean, because I was like, man, who did those say? They had so many Richard Pryor album cuts on their stuff, man. So that's how I kind of, was okay. Then you saw other people start to do the exact same thing, scratching a little stuff in there from off of, comedy records and stuff like that. So I would say that for me, you know what I mean? But I can see that the Block Party was on point. I do think Dave Chappelle is doing his thing. But I would say Martin too, from our generation, because Martin was the first cat I seen on TV with Jordans. He was every episode he had a pair of Jordans on. You know what I'm saying? He was his clothes were baggy. Yeah. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? He looked like somebody I would hang out with at home. You know what I mean? So, he was for me what I think of kind of influencing hip hop from our generation. Yeah,
that's a good point. Because he was a radio host, a DJ at his radio station, and he would play, the music, and that's a good point, man. Like a lot of comedians, they put that stuff out there. I mean, and Will Smith, and shout out to him. He's not really a comedian, but his role as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when he was wearing them custom J's that ended up turning into the Bel-Air 5s. You know what I'm saying? Like he was out here wearing J's on the joint in his private school, and I'm just like, bro, he is fly as shit, bro. Like, I want that. But he was hip at the same time. Go ahead.
So I started to bring those J's out here. I started to bring them out. It's funny that you said you done talked about 2 things that I thought about. I thought about asking you about Raw as one of the questions, and I thought about bringing them 5s out here. I thought about bringing them J's out here to talk about them, but I didn't bring them out. But yeah, it's funny that you talk about them.
We'll get to that.
Them Bel-Airs. They're my joints though. I got. I rock them every now and then, but them Bel-Airs on point.
Yeah.
So I guess you are a sneakerhead.
I am. Hey, as long as you ain't bringing them shows, them joints you show Mark Socks. Trying to get my opinion on them joints.
Hold up now. Shout out to MRK, but he hit me up. He like, I think they growing on me. I'm finna buy me a pair. He got him a gray pair. He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna scoop these up. So,
okay.
So yeah, he done flipped the script on that. Hey, I love being a trendsetter.
I see you, Chief. I see you, Chief, putting everybody on.
I put them on.
Everybody on. I see you.
You know what I'm saying? So my next question for you is I asked everybody this question. So I'm asking you because I know you're a hip hop head too. So what was one of your most memorable hip hop moments while since you've been in the military?
Oh man. So I'm gonna go back to our deployment in 2003. You know, so everybody's having a shitty time. This is when, you know, Amazon was not what it is now, but they was one of the few places that was able to ship mail out to where we were at. So we over there, we missing out on all the music. So one person in our tent ordered the equipment. What is it? Speaker Box Love Below, Outkast album, right? And when he got that shit, motherfucker, we was on some shit, like, cause we was on the same tent or whatnot. He would play that, and I was sitting there and I was listening to the Love Below. That was Andre 3000's joint.
Yeah,
I was like, this motherfucker's on next level shit. He is on some next level shit right here. And then I listened to Big Boy's joint, and I'm just like, Big Boy is some other shit. Like that made me appreciate, and I don't know why I was so late to appreciate the greatness of Outkast. Like I just thought they was just a gimmicky thing because, you know, 3000 be wearing whatever the fuck it is he be wearing, and, you know, Big Boy be out there, you know, his ATL shit. You know, I'm just like, man, they just out they a little gimmick group or whatnot. Yeah. I said, well, I mean, we were all out there listening to that album, and we was like, yo, these motherfuckers is geniuses out here. They geniuses out here. Black Album from Jay-Z came out while we was deployed to. Ordered that. I was just like, this motherfucker's on a whole nother level. Like I was already a Jay-Z fan, but like having an album where it was just him, you know, no features, pretty much him just spitting. I was like, bro, so like it's like hip hop albums just got me through probably one of the worst, because that deployment was hard. It was tough, man. And that music just got us through so much. You know what I'm saying? And just I don't think they know. I don't think artists know off rip like how their music gets people through some shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But it does, man. Like there wasn't a song that was just like it spoke to me or made me feel something. But those two albums, man, they'll always be favorites of mine because of what they got me and my partners through back in 2003. You know what I'm saying? So, that was a good year for hip hop, 2003. So, you know, I put that out there.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, when Hov came on there, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hov. Hold up.
Come on.
Let me rewind again.
Come on, bro.
Let me rewind that one more time.
Come on, bro.
I was like, this cat, he's snapping. Bro. That was one of my favorite albums.
What is the hardest intro? One of the hardest intros to a song that I was just like the swag he had, the swag to just come in there and be like, allow me to in the middle of your album. Like we know it's Jay-Z. Nah. Allow me to, let me show y'all. Y'all must have forgot. Y'all thought y'all must have forgot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all think that Blueprint 2, that was,
I was like, oh, what the hell?
Everybody's like Blueprint 2, you know, Bonnie and Clyde 03. You had a lot of commercial type shit on your Blueprint 2. That's why I didn't get received well. Oh, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is, so I'm just like, oh my God. Oh,
he reintroduced himself.
That was one of them. Oh, he a rapper. Okay, you a rapper. Hov, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? That was one of my jams right there too. You know what I mean? Hey, my album, the album that got me through my tech school. You know, I'm a fireman. That firefighter tech school was, like you say, you was a little short cat. You was the dude in school. I was always the little skinny cat weighing 135. You know what I'm saying? So I was like a little skinny dude going in the basic training, man. And so I'm up in there, man. And what got me through that was the whole Soul Food album, the Goody Mob Soul Food album. All I did was play that every single day, every hour, every second. That, and I watched Minister Society about 30 million times in major pain. That's the stuff that got me through. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I watched Minister Society about 100 times. you know what I'm saying, to keep me connected, you know what I'm saying, to the world, but my world at the time. And I just listened to that Goody Mob over and over and over and over, and I just like, man, I knew every single song on that Goody Mob, man, and every one was just so deep, and it just meant something, man. It's like, you know, I was like, oh, you're talking about that, about your mama, you know what I'm saying, my mama, and me and my mama was going through stuff. I was like, oh, I was feeling, you know, I'll be in tech school just crying, like listening to that album, and that album was deep, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The South was just starting to explode around 03-02 while we were deployed, because you had the Outkast joint, Young Bloods came out, Little John took the whole world by storm. The South was just on some other shit. Trick Daddy was getting big again, Slip and Slide, all that. I'm just like, I see you. The South is the South will rise again, but only for hip hop. Not none of that Confederate shit. Don't be jumping in here talking about the South will rise. I'm talking about hip hop, motherfucker. Shit. Don't get it twisted. You know?
Yeah, man. I love, man. Shoot, that was my time, man. When I saw how the South was coming up, I was like, oh man. I was so happy. But like I said, I tell on the show, man. I came in the military in '96, right around this time. Trick Daddy started, because I was, you know, doing shows and catching buses to do shows back in the days in Miami. And every flea market, every time I could get on the mic, I was doing something. But, you know what I'm saying, wasn't nothing popping. And it wasn't until I saw the Trick Daddy, I was like, he had an album with a damn food stamp. I kind of was like, did he steal this from Old Dirty Bastard? I don't know what he did, but he was standing there looking crazy on us with his shirt off on the cover, you know what I'm saying, behind a food stamp. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I done messed up. I listened to that album. I like, I tried to get out there. I tried everything I could to get out the military. I got to get out of here, man. I got to go home. It's popping. It was just crazy at that time. I was like, man, the South was rising, but I'm stuck up here in the damn military. So it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So my next question is this. If you could share the stage for one night only with either Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, or Dave Chappelle, who would you choose?
My heart wants to say Eddie because of Raw. Like that, like I said, that's the first real stand-up I remember watching. But Martin's You So Crazy. I think when I watched that one, I was at an age where I could appreciate the whole stand-up start to finish. You know, Martin's energy. I think me and Martin's energy at that time, like the kind of energy, sense of humor and stuff. I think me and Martin would probably, like, I'd rather share a stage with Martin. Martin in his prime. I would have just loved to have been on the stage with him. Nothing like Dave Chappelle is my favorite comedian as of now, based on it, because he's still putting shit out there, and the shit he puts out there, like his Netflix specials, like I routinely watch those probably like once a month. You know what I'm saying? Because it still applies to today. The shit doesn't age. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit is still a thing today. But Martin, just based off of his energy, his whole swag, you know, I mean, like, God, man, like Martin would have to be it, man. And this is also, I'm taking in consideration his show, because his show, like the energy he be having on this, that's the type of shit I be on. Like I just like to make motherfuckers laugh, you know, and that was Martin's whole thing on his show. Like, all right, so in this, and you could tell, because you could see like in some of the scenes, some of the other actors and shit, they be trying to hold back. They be trying to hold back their laughs and shit with Martin be going off script doing some shit, man. And I'm like, that's the energy I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? So me and Martin would probably cut up pretty good on the stage.
Hey, I feel you, man. Every time, you know, Martin make me laugh anyway, man. I would probably say Martin too, man, because my favorite episode of Martin is the episode with Tommy the Hitman Hearns, when he hit him and it knocked him into the wall. He was stuck in there. He was like, Gina, I don't want to fight no more. He said, I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight no more.
Bro, the next scene where he came out.
He had that big old head. He said, don't look that bad, do it. He's like, came out. He had that big eyeball and a big old head. And she was like, he's like, you don't want to fight? He's like, I don't look that bad, do I? Do I look bad? You don't look that bad, baby. She was like, no. He had that big pancake head with a big eye swole. When dude knocked him into the wall.
Bro, Gina,
stuck in the wall up there.
You can tell. You can tell. That is the first time Gina saw that man. Like they probably rehearsed that scene, and he didn't have the mask on, and so that was the first time she saw that. You can see it on her face. She was trying not to laugh. Bro, I was at home, tears. Martin, come out. Look at that, Gina. Motherfucking shit was quad. Oh, shit.
Like my favorite episode. I could watch that in the time he had the swap meet Jordans on. He like my feet. He came out there, his feet. He's like, man, he said you should look good. I can ball in this. He like, yo, the sweatsuit look good. One leg was short, one leg was he's like
you guys sure looks good.
Hey, I would have picked Martin too. Martin had me cracking up, boy. Martin had me about to die, man.
That's my dude, man. That's my guy.
Right, so now we gotta get serious now. You know, we gotta get to something serious. We gotta laugh and get something serious. So as an active duty member, I'm gonna ask you the question. As an active duty member, right now, what do you think about the LT, the lieutenant that was pepper sprayed by the police in VA? So I live in VA right now. I'm in Richmond, so I feel some kind of way already. You know what I mean about it because I'm already living in the state. So
right.
But I'm just curious to know how you feel about that, man.
My heart is broken, and it's twofold. One is kind of a selfish reason because I thought that the uniform gave me a false sense of protection when I'm out and about dealing with individuals at all. Because as a black dude who was living in Panama City, I would go into a Chick-fil-A or something on lunch break in my uniform. People move. Oh, get in front. Oh, you can get in front of me. I know you're busy. Oh, thank you for your service. Oh, you know, the people there, my pleasure. Hey, I threw in an extra thing of nuggets for you. My pleasure. We salute you. All that other stuff, man. I go in there in some basketball shorts and some J's or something. You know, I'm not getting that, you know. So I've been pulled over a couple times. Dude saw my military ID and was just like, oh, bro, like where you serve? Hey, I'm gonna just let you off with a warning and whatnot. To the point where I strategically place my ID in front of my driver's license. So when they're asking for my license, they see the ID first before I give them the license. And it's sad that I have to do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just to, hey, I know I'm not in uniform, but hey, I'm serving, you know, so let me be, please. I never thought that I would see, unless the person is doing something super egregious, like an active shooter or something. Like if you're in military uniform, you know, I never would have thought something like that was possible unless you're committing a super crime. You know what I'm saying? Like you ran somebody the fuck over and kept driving away or something. Like you caused harm to somebody, or you got 9,000 kilos of cocaine or something in your shit. You know what I'm saying? Watching that video, it hurt because the reactions from like two different groups. Like people are just like, yo, these cops are out of hand. And then people who just be like, well, if the lieutenant would have complied, none of this would have happened. And the people who are saying that, I'm just like, my man had both hands out the window, asking questions. Cops just show up and take a situation from 0 to 100 so fucking fast, it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They roll up on a scene, start throwing threats, get the fuck out, blah, blah, blah. Like, my man just has questions. Why are you pulling me over? What is going on? And I think it was because his license plate wasn't visible or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't visible to the officer.
It was tinted window, yeah.
So now we just got to take it to that level. You know, like this is a tase-worthy fucking event. This is a pepper spray in your face, get you, grab you, throw you out the car event because I can't see your license plate. Is it? Is it? At what point, watching you saw the body cam, did you feel those officers were threatened to the point where they had to use those measures to get this situation under control?
Yeah.
At what point, Chief?
Yeah.
At what point did you watch that video like, oh yeah, that was totally necessary what they did?
No, I didn't see no point in there, man. I was just watching it and just disbelief and just, you know what I'm saying? And just to ask to say something to piggyback on what you say, I think most black dudes in the military, I think we all do that with our license, because I know I did. Anytime a police would stop me, I would give them my military ID and I would give them my driver license. And if you look at my car, man, I got my cars, man. I got U.S. Air Force all on my tag in the back, so you'll know. Not, you know what I'm saying? I got firefighter on it. I got all these things on my car as a distraction, so you know, just so that the lesson when somebody walk up to my car. And I wear this hat a lot. I wear this hat a lot when I'm around. And I got a face mask that got a chief stripe on it. I try everything I can to make me look less intimidating to police officers. So it's a shame you got to do that, but we got to do that. I mean, trust me when I tell you this, you're not the only person that does. I'm sure there's plenty of brothers in the military that do the exact same thing, that got their military ID right with their driver license. But it got to the point now where they don't give a damn. I think after 9/11, they cared. Now they don't give a damn. Now you give them your driver license, they like, shit, whatever. Tase you, put pepper spray you the same way we would anybody else. That don't mean nothing now. So yeah. It's that's where we at.
And that's real life in America for black people. You know, like you putting all that stuff on your car to put a person you don't know at ease, to with the hope that puts certain people at ease as they're walking up to your car. They see all that stuff and be like, "Oh, okay, he's prior service, so he's not going to give me any problems."
Yeah,
that is like a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. I got to let people know I served, because if you know that's the only thing that I thought at the time. Like they would be like, "Hey, you know, I appreciate what you've done for this country. Hey, this, that, and the third." Because, I mean, he had his hands out the window. "Hey, can you tell me what you're pulling me over for? Get out the car, then we'll tell you." Like, you could just be like, "Hey, your license plate isn't visible. You know, if you could take this tint thing off of it, you know, we can let you be on your way." You know, just explain to him what is going on. And that whole thing could have been resolved. And it goes back to the whole, I think, when people were just like, "Oh, now everybody just wants to get rid of police." No, we want y'all to reform how the shit works, reform their training, reform how they interact. Like, you got to take steps to change how y'all are training these people as like attack dogs to just go out there. And the first time somebody doesn't comply, now I got to fucking take it to 100. You know, that shouldn't be a thing. We're both in the military. Like, we are trained to use the proportionate level of force needed to take care of a situation. Yeah. You know, if we walk into a place and they got hands up, we can't shoot, because if we do shoot that person who is not a threat, bro, we on trial, war crime, punishable by death, off rip, punishable by death, or long ass time in Leavenworth or some shit. And ain't no, "Oh, I shot this person during the time of war. He wasn't a threat or anything. You know, we'll just suspend you, you know, and not press charges and stuff." Like these officers again. We don't get qualified immunity in the military.
No.
But officers do. That's the stupid part that I can't understand why this shit. And I know that's why shit like this keeps happening, because they know they going 90% chance they're gonna get off without anything.
That's exactly why it happened. That's exactly why they do the things they do. You know what I mean? And like I said, this guy had a nice little Tahoe. I got a Mercedes out here, man. I be thinking to myself, like, you know, so it's like, damn, maybe I need to get another car, because it's like you just don't never know. It's like you can't even have the things you want to have because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Somebody see you, be mad because they see you. I gotta tint the windows dark, trying, you know what I'm saying, drive slow. So every precaution I could possibly take to keep the police away from me. And I try to lessen my interaction with the police, which it shouldn't be that way. When I was growing up, we had a thing called officer friendly. Officer friendly was a thing with the whistle when you go to, growing up, they talk about officer friendly, but in my neighborhood, I wasn't taught no officer friendly. It was like officer kill you, and you better not run. Everybody knew you better not run. If you run, they're gonna whoop you worse. Then they might kick you one time if you didn't run, but now you running, they're gonna beat you up, hit you with the club, kick you, all kind of stuff. So I went to a class, I went to a meeting. We had diversity training here just recently. Everybody was doing this diversity training thing, and I said in the diversity training that growing up, I was more afraid of the police department than I was the people shooting in the street. You know what I'm saying? People in my neighborhood. I said I was taught when I was growing up, I thought the police was was scarier than the boogeyman. Man, you could have heard a pin drop. You heard gasp up in there. People couldn't believe. And that's when I say a lot of times we just got to get to know each other's cultures, and understand what the differences are in the interaction that we have. Most Caucasian people, when they have an interaction with a police officer, it's pretty, hey sir, how you doing? It's subtle. When usually when it's more than usual, when it's happening to somebody who's African American, you getting questions. Like they stop you, like, so why are you so nonchalant about this stop? What where are you going? What you doing?
Right.
It's all these 1,000 questions. I mean, do you ask everybody, are they nonchalant about it? Do you ask everybody these questions that they ask? You know what I mean? It's like it's a I'm trying to get you into doing something so I can arrest you or put handcuffs on you.
Bro. And then the recent thing with that Army sergeant walking up on an old boy who was walking on the sidewalk in front of his house.
I saw that.
This is a tight-knit community. You're you're not welcome here. Fuck you mean? Yeah. Fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You just instigating the whole situation. You call your wife out here, phone all in this man's face, move or I'm gonna move you type stuff. Like, bro, quit this whole alpha male thing.
Yeah. He picked the littlest dude he could find to mess with. He picked the littlest dude. He know damn well if it had been anybody else, he would not have done that. He just picked the littlest dude to push and try to push him around. And that there you go. For me, people, like I said, they ask me, you happy to be, you miss the military? No, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm got peace, because I felt like a lot of times the military was a place where a lot of racist guys would go and hide, and they thought that because they was in the military that they could do things that they want to do. And me, I was like, I'm cut from a different cloth than somebody. You know what I'm saying? I just come from something different. I just wasn't used to that. And I'm like, you think you could just talk to me and be any way you want to be? But if I haul off and I punch you in your mouth, then I'm going to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? That's that factor. When you see somebody treat somebody that way, you see how he's acting toward him, that's that factor. He's used to that factor that I could do that and no nothing happen to me. Where I'm from, something going to happen to you. It don't matter how big you are. Something going to happen to you. You can't just push 100%. Everybody around. You ain't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that mentality. You know what I'm saying? And that to me, I saw a lot of that in the military, and I was like, man, I gotta, because it was so many days that I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna lose a stripe. I'm gonna lose a stripe, because I just felt like it was a place where a lot of times racist people hide, and they able to hide behind stripes and hide behind different things in brass. Yes. You know what I'm saying? That be able to push you around and do what they want to do. And like some people get their kicks off or something like that, but I was never the one. So I don't care. I didn't care how many stripes I got, how many it was. I was never the one. So because I wasn't there, people like, man, I'm the last person you thought would have been chief, because I just was not the one. I'm like, you're not going to be talking to me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Do what you got to do. Write me up. Give me whatever you're going to give me, but you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm a man first. You a man first. And we could walk outside this gate and take all the bars and the stripes off, and we could talk. And then we'll see who's who.
They don't want them.
You know what I mean?
They don't want them.
They don't want them.
They want to keep it structured, all that shit. You can't hit me. I'm an officer. Like, you talking to me like I'm not an NCO, like I'm not a senior NCO. You talking to me like I'm out here like a puppet. I'm a grown ass man, dog. Like chill.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's a way for this communication. I'm a grown ass man, dog.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I just thank God, you know, things just I just got lucky that I just didn't, it didn't get escalated. But trust me, it was times where I thought it was gonna get escalated. But yeah, man, I think we all dealing with that, man. I think that's why I wanted to bring it up. We having fun, we laughing, but it's the serious stuff going on out here, man. And we gotta be vigilant. Yeah. And you're right. There should be no reason that I should have to take my military ID and stick it with my driver license and I'm telling you, I would give them both my driver license. They would always give my military ID back. Like, why you giving me this? That was my you don't kill me.
Right.
That's my don't kill me car. Yes. No, okay. Don't shoot me and kill me car. That's what that was.
Talk about it. Because
that's what it was.
We felt like that was our safety net. Like, hey, I'm military. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, okay. Yeah. He didn't give a fuck. He was like, what rank are you? Specialist, private class?
Yeah. This over with now. If they
not at all.
Spray an officer. So imagine what they would do to a chief. Imagine what they would do to a tech sergeant. Imagine what they're gonna do. So I'm just saying.
Uniform don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
I'm just glad. Man. I am glad that with that LT being shot. Like tase, pepper spray, that was all fucked up. But knowing how most of these interactions end where an officer gets spun up like that, bro, I'm glad that lieutenant is still alive and it didn't turn into something where
I pray for dude. I pray for him every day, man. I'm thankful that he made it home to his family because he could have not made it home to his family.
Yes.
They would have been shipping him off with a flag. You know what I'm saying? He served his country only to be shot by the police that he's protecting so he could be a police.
In the country. Oh my God, Chief, talk about it, bro. Talk about it, Chief. Shit.
He has the freedom to be a police.
Making me mad, bro.
Hey. Hey, yeah, I understand. You know what I'm saying? So I was gonna ask you this. Yeah. I was gonna ask you this question, but I think I already asked it earlier. I was gonna ask you, do you put any of your military experience in your comedy? But I think we touched on that, so I'm gonna go to the next question, which is what are some of we talked about this already. What are some of the lessons you've learned in the military, and what advice would you give those thinking about joining the military?
Be strategic in why you're joining. Have a reason why you're joining. I know my reason for joining was kind of reactive, right? Something happened and I was like, I need to get my family in a better spot. For those who aren't in a situation like that, like I just want to get out of here, get in a better position. If you're like, and I was telling my son this when he was thinking about joining, I was like, think about what you really are passionate about. And then look into all the branches. If you want to do the military, look in all the branches and see if there is a MOS, a AFSC, or whatever that matches what you want to do. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get that training for free in the military. And then you just give them your 4 years or your 6 years, and then you bounce and continue, doing what you want on the civilian side. Or join, just know you're going to use these 6 years in the military to do your education and then get out and do what you want to do. Just have a plan, because when people jump into the military, I would say probably more now. I'm talking to like younger kids at the schoolhouse where we train them at. They get in this AFSC and the 1 Charlie 5, it's like it's not a trade. It's nothing you can do on the outside of being a contracted instructor or a GS instructor at the schoolhouse. It's not a trade that they're going to get you where you can just go and do something else. So they just tend to get out and use their GI Bill, which is cool. You did your 4 years, you served your country, use your benefits. Just have a plan when you come in, you know what I'm saying? And then also, when you come in, and you kind of talked about it, when you come in the military, be prepared for anything, because you will be working with people, like Chief said, who have ulterior motives. Like we just had a whole, Secretary of Defense ordered extremism, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So they can be like, yo, there are people in the military who harbor beliefs that fit in with some of these known hate groups.
Yep.
But they're in uniform. So at any time you can be interacting, be in somebody's chain of command, be under the command of somebody, you know what I'm saying? Or be in command of people who believe certain things. So you just have to be ready, because it is a sample size of greater America. It's not like when you come in the military, they're just like, are you racist? Yes, get out of here. You know, no, that's not on the form where you fill out at MEPS, you know? So people just come in here. I knew a dude who was a active card carrying member of the KKK, but he did not, you know, display or do anything at work to make you think that he was down with the KKK. You know what I'm saying? So you're just like, oh, at work, this dude, this, that, and like when people found out, they're just like, how the fuck? Are you sure are you talking about the same dude? Yes, because at work, he would just do his job. Blah, blah, blah. Who knows what he did when he got home? Who knows what he was looking up? What he did on his spare time, when he took leave, where he went, maybe to go to some grand gathering or whatever the fuck they call that shit. But just low key, just know, what if that dude, me and him was out at war? We're under fire. I get shot. Hey, man, come give me self-aid buddy care. You think he coming through? Nope. Looking at me as a black dude, and he's just like, as a KKK member, bro, like, I can't fucks with you like that. You know, like, I'm just throwing it out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just know, when you join the military, you will work with some of the best people and you will work with some of the worst people, man. You just got to know what you want to get out of the military. Like Chief said, I'm in here. You're going to get time from me. I'm going to wring every benefit out of you, military. And that's how you got to attack it. Because no matter what branch you join, they're going to be like, oh, we got you for the next 6 years. You can go wherever we want you to. Yep. You can go wherever we want you to go. You know, your wife anniversary, baby coming, she due. I don't care. Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever. Get out of here. Korea, go. So while you in, make sure you getting your money's worth out of the military too. Education, certifications, all that stuff. Set yourself up for success when you get out, bro. Oh, it's a hustle. Oh. You know it, Chief. It's a hustle. The military's a hustle, bro. You got to hustle it because they're going to hustle the fuck out of you.
Yeah, man. I know, man. You know what I'm saying? My sister, she up at Travis, man. And so I had to have that talk because she wanted to go to the military. And they were trying to get her, they're trying to make my sister be a plumber and a policeman. I flexed my chief power. And I got her hooked up, you know what I'm saying? So she became a medical admin. Right. And so she got a cake job. She up there. But I gave her some of these same conversations, but the way they was getting us, that's why you got to be educated. You know what I'm saying? You got to really learn how the military, and thank God, shout out to Op Solo. Because when I first came to the military, my whole mission was to bash cats in their face and stomp them in the ground and put my foot and just as far as I could beat their ass. That was my mission when I first came to the military, because I was just so mad because I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So I had to deal with it, but I learned where they was getting dudes was on their EPRs, marking them down low, doing little things to so that's how they get you with the EPRs, because they say, okay, we get you. Because EPRs, people go back and forth with EPRs, and for people that don't know, enlisted performance reports, that stuff is always going to be tied to people. So as long as it's tied to people, now you got somebody who's a white supremacist or somebody who got certain beliefs. They're going to give you a good mark. Then they're going to give you a 5. No, you're going to get a 4. You're going to get a 3. Now things have changed. The markets have changed. But back in the days, that's how they would get dudes. And so I had to just be smart. I started learning how to work the system and how to, just make myself, make myself, how I say, marketable to get that 5. I started having to work to do different things to kind of make myself and learn the language, learn the regulations, start understanding certain things. So I walk the walk and I talk the talk. And as I started walking the walk and talking the talk, it's like, okay, even though to me it pretty much was a facade, it started being believable. And it got me what I wanted. It got me where I wanted to go. And so I would teach my friends. I was like, and I give them all the same. I told my sister this. And I told anybody I told this to, anybody who didn't listen to me, they all had trouble. They lost strike. They had issues. I said, do not believe the hype. I said this on several shows. Do not believe the hype. You got to know who you are, know what you walking, know your purpose, understand what you're doing, but don't believe when somebody tell you the greatest, because you the greatest until they you done did something wrong, and they gonna pluck that little Sprite or take that little ball right off of you in like a second. So you got to understand the walk the walk, talk the talk, understand what you getting into as you start maneuvering. But understand that they in there, they hiding, and the way they gonna get you is you giving them something. So I told my sister, I said, don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. If you give them something, then they got something to go against you. So I specialized in not giving them nothing. And so once I specialized in all that, couldn't give them nothing. They couldn't do nothing but just say, okay, all right, we gonna, you know what I'm saying? They tried other little stuff, but by the time I made chief, I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna affect me at this point. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
Right.
Hey, I don't care. Right. I'm looking over here. I'm taking a pee next to a general. Do I care what you talking about? What you gonna do to me? Not really. The general's sitting right next to me. Hey, chief. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's my little. You know what I'm saying? I went into the rant, but that's my love. That's my things to these young people. So that's what I say about it. If you want to join the military, that's what I say. They hide. Just understand they hiding. But you can spot them a mile away, but you just can't give them nothing. Because as soon as you give them something, they're gonna give you something. Yeah. Or they're gonna take something from you. Strike. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Strike. Facts. And don't think because you a chief, that means something. Because I can tell you some stories about being a chief and other chiefs. They ain't looking out for you. I was like, I made it to the pinnacle. I'm the top. Hell no. That don't mean nothing. That didn't mean nothing. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Nice strike. You know what I'm saying? We still hiding here. We still hiding. We're gonna get you another way. There you go. So my next question is another little serious question. So do you think this guy Derek Chauvin is gonna get off?
So I've been watching the trial mostly. We'll bring it on. It'll just be in the background at work or whatnot. And for I was watching 12 days of the trial. It looks like the defense don't know what they're doing. The prosecution is calling up these people because the defense's whole thing is like, oh, he was on some drugs and it affected his system, and that's why his irregular, all this other stuff is why he died, not because the knee on the neck. And all these specialists are saying, yeah, he had pills, it had less than 1% fentanyl in it. That's not going to do what the defense is saying it's doing. Obviously, this knee on the neck cut down the oxygen flow, all this other stuff, X, Y, and Z. The way he was positioned also constricted how much oxygen his lungs could get, all this stuff. So all these specialists are just saying the knee is what killed your boy. So I'm thinking he's going to, based on the charges that are out there, because it's like second-degree murder, second degree, it's another murder charge, and then there's the manslaughter. I went and looked up the Minnesota codes and laws, and the only way I can see a for sure conviction is probably the manslaughter. Based on the actions he was doing, may or may not have been done with the intent to kill him, but because he did these actions and it ended up in his death and it was unneeded, unnecessary actions, he can get manslaughter. So I don't think he's getting off scot-free. For the letter of the law, manslaughter is what he's going to get, I feel. Mm-hmm. Do I think he was on his neck with the intent to kill him? I want to say no, but the minute he starts saying, I can't breathe, hey, I can't breathe, as an officer who is supposed to be there to control the situation and protect and serve, get off of this guy, position him to where he can breathe, because he's already apprehended. He's already under control. He doesn't need that. If you're ignoring the I can't breathe over 27 times, you know what you're doing. You know what the fuck you're doing. So I feel it should be murder. That's just me, but letter of the law, they're probably going to get him on manslaughter, which is like a 10-year sentence or something like that. I forget what the maximum penalty for that is, but he is not going to get what he deserves in my eyes. Per the letter of the law of Minnesota, he'll probably get his little 10 years and whatever fine it is. But I don't think he's getting off because whoever he hired to be his defense is trash from what I've seen because he is trying and it is failing. So I don't know if he has something else in the books or whatnot. And another thing people have been saying is because his defense is so trash, he can file an appeal based on his attorney not representing him correctly or something. I just read that too. Like, so if he gets convicted and gets sentenced, he can appeal that because he can say my defense team was ill prepared for this case and didn't represent me to the fullest of their ability, and then have another fucking go at it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that's how it's going to go. I just, even if it's manslaughter, like I just want people to just fucking do the time for their crime. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. Just sit in a trial, have all this shit put out, and let the people be like, this is where it needs to go. All of this, oh, no charges are being filed. None of this. The DA says, nah, charges is dropped. He's just fired. He's just suspended. Like firing them ain't cool. Like the Breonna Taylor shit. Like just because you fired those officers, that ain't cool. Oh, you ain't pressing charges, but you just gonna give the family of Breonna Taylor like $11 million. To me, that's just like, so that's what y'all think her life was worth? 11 million? And everything's cool? So you're telling me the going rate for a 20-something-year-old black woman who's an EMT is $11 million. That's how much her life is worth. And these people are just living their life. These officers, yeah, they're fired, but you know, you took the life of somebody. Somebody got to pay for that shit, bro. Somebody got to pay for that shit. So I'm hoping Derek Chauvin, you know, he gets his time in court like everybody should get. Listen, he's getting his time in court. There are a lot of people who have been shot by officers who have not gotten their time in court, and the shooting of them was not necessary. You know what I'm saying? They're not judge, jury, and executioner. George Floyd should have had his day in court for whatever crime y'all wrote up on him for. He should be on trial to see if he's innocent or guilty. But we don't get to see that because you saw to end his life. So now here you are, Derek, on trial with all of this stuff, and it's sickening to me. You know, I just think he's gonna get manslaughter, do his 10 years, and live his life, and it hurts to say that. What you think?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think that I think so saying you can't breathe don't mean nothing to the police. It don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? That means remember the guy from New York, they choked him out. He was like, I couldn't breathe. That don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, it's like when you're coming from a belief that people are 3/5 of a human being, and now you're being forced to say that that's not true. I think it's a hard it's a hard corner to turn. And I wish it wasn't, but sometimes I think it's a hard corner to turn. We come from being called, you know, 3/5.
Hold on, Chief. Your audio is kind of warped.
Yeah, it sounded kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on. Yours sound the same way.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so I can kind of echo on something.
All right, hold on. Let me try something real quick. How does it sound? Same?
So they got same kind of staticky thing going on there.
Let me leave and come back and see if it's something on my end. And
Okay.
then, if it ain't me, we'll try it on your end or whatnot.
Yeah. Stand by.
All right, I'm back. Chief, you good? Chief. Yo, Chief. Chief. That's what happens when you start talking too real on these things, man. Somebody starts shutting your shit down. People start shutting your shit down. You getting too real. Don't say that. No, don't say that. Then you get too real, man. Al Gore's internet be shutting you down. I'm sure he'll jump back in here. But those who are watching, man, thanks for tuning in. If you're listening to this audio on Spotify and you want to jump in and be part of the live conversation, there's certain ways you can do that. You can follow the DFPN Podcast YouTube channel to be able to interact live. For this specific podcast, you can fuck with Facebook and join the Salute Podcast fan group. Join that, and you'll be able to jump in live. All of the Salute Podcast episodes hosted by the Hip Hop Chief, aka Conscious Rhyme. Or you can follow the DFPN Podcast Network. Let me move out the way. Y'all see it, right? DFPN Podcast Network Facebook page, and follow us there as well. So there's 3 ways for you guys to be able to follow us and enroll and participate in the conversations. So we're just waiting for Chief to jump back in here and then finish this interview up. But yeah, it's what a time to be a black dude in America, you know, a black person in America, because we gotta figure out a way to coexist with everybody, but then just know there are things that we are going through that not everybody is going through. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you all a quick example, right? So I have this person on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. He'll continually post things like, I don't see anything, you know, like he keeps posting these things with, I'm pretty sure, good intentions. A picture of a black dude, a firefighter doing something, rescuing somebody, and a picture of a white firefighter doing something. He's like, here's a black dude, here's a white dude. What's the difference? There is none, right? And his intent is, you know, they're both heroes. I don't see but the thing is, as a black person, I'm looking at this. Yes, they're both heroes, but here's the difference. At the end of the day, if there's an interaction with a police officer, one of them more than likely is probably in a higher threat situation than the other. In his mind, he thinks he is doing good things. This person who is making these posts, he thinks he is doing good things. But as a white person posting this to just be like, everything is cool, you're posting that, and I take offense to it, you know, because it's not that simple, bro. Just making a post saying everybody's the same, love everybody, everybody should matter. That's not what's happening in America, my guy. It's not what's happening. And these posts aren't really doing anything to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I think my guy is trying to get back in here. So I'm going to hook him up real quick. And I think that's the complicated part of being friends with people who don't go through the shit that you go through. Like, you have to be able to step back and think about Do I know what's going on with them or do I not? You know what I'm saying? So making these posts, and then when I respond, like, here's the difference, and I post a picture of, insert random black person who has been imprisoned for stupid shit. And then next, I post a picture of Brock Turner, who was caught actually sexually assaulting, raping somebody against their will and getting off with a slap on the hand. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that I am sitting here like, this is the difference. They both have the same job. They both do the same thing. Yes, one's a firefighter, the other was a firefighter. But in the eyes of America, it's whatever. It's whatever. Like there is a difference in the way that they are treated. I know you don't want there to be a difference, but there is. The reality is there is a difference. So when me, and maybe it's just me, I don't know, when I see a situation where people are making that post and making it seem like it's such an easy fix, just treat everybody right. That's not the step you need to take. You need to I don't want to hijack my man's podcast with this shit, man. But it's real stuff, man. It's real stuff. I've been holding this stuff in, man. I've been trying to just be a lighthearted dude, but it festers in me, and I feel like I need to get this out. And hopefully Chief get back in here so we can finish this interview. Because I think we were going to get into something real. Or worst case, we'll just get them on my Instagram, my podcast, and chop it up or whatnot. But I sent him the stream code. We'll see if he jumps back in. Because I wanted to talk about these sneakers. He had a question about sneakers, and I'm just like, boy, I'm your boy. I am your boy when it comes to the sneakers, my guy. But it looks like he's having problems. Oh man, technology, right? Technology. So I got the list of questions he has here. I don't want to start answering them before he comes back. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go ahead. We'll end this, and then when it gets set back up, we'll just go ahead and complete the interview, and then we'll like chop, edit, paste it together, and make it one beautiful thing, man. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. That's what we'll do. So I'm gonna go ahead and bow out technical difficulties, and we will be, or actually I don't have to go off. We'll just do this and be like, So, ladies and gentlemen, appears that'll be it for tonight's episode of the Salute Podcast. Sorry that technical difficulties kind of messed up the flow we were going on there, but trust and believe that we will come back and reintact this episode. So until next time, tip your waitresses, tip your bartenders, and let's just go out, have a good evening, be kind to one another. With that being said, I am Mac, aka your boy, the grateful guest on this episode of the Salute Podcast, hosted by the one and only Conscious Rhymes, aka the Hip Hop Chief, aka the Fire Chief, aka Retired Chief Patrick Wilcox. He goes by many names. I bid you all adieu. Enjoy your night. Peace.